So I'm Emily, by the way, I didn't introduce myself, with Primary Residential Mortgage. And every month, we actually provide the Legacy Group with a set of social media posts. I believe, do they come from Bronwyn? Do you know who, did she send them to you? Okay, so every month, Bronwyn's gonna send a link to Melissa and then you forward it out.
So she posted on our private Facebook
Okay.
this month, and I can get to the top of the internal
Perfect.
private group, so everybody can get them from there. So that's what we started this month.
Okay, so everyone should see my screen, and when you get that link every month, it's gonna take you to our Google Drive. And you'll be able to scroll down and see all the great content that's there. These are gonna be a mix of holidays, national days, and like real estate statistics. So, and these are not meant to be the only things that you're posting. These are meant to kind of be like filler content to almost fill in the spaces between days that you're posting. So, you know, if you're posting Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, but you don't have anything for Wednesday, but you happen to notice that it's, let's go with National Crab Meat Day. Don't let another realtor make you crabby. So it's just a cute little play on words. You can post it to your page just for some filler content or have your logo on it. Most of them will have the actual Legacy logo. That was just a tiny space. If St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, so you could download this, save it to your page. I wanted to start from the Google Drive just in case anyone is not familiar about how to download the content from there. So you'll have a bunch of those posts and they're saved with the day that they're meant to be posted. But then you also have a couple folders up at the top. And these are always going to be real estate related, so statistics. This one is home inspection related. And the reason they're in a folder is because there's 3 images inside and they're meant to be posted as a set. So you'll see this is the first one, this is the second one, and so on. But if you want to just download the entire folder to your computer, that's probably a good place to start. So you're going to hit this little drop down and you're going to click download. Bear with me because I'm a Mac user, so let's see what happens here. All right, download ready. Looks like it popped down right here. Cool. So it looks like it downloaded right to your PC. Or you can like drag it to your desktop, whatever you want to do. But that's probably good practice every month just to make sure you have those on demand. You don't want to have to be like, oh, where's that email I received so long ago, or you have to search for it. So, you know, maybe you just want to keep them on your desktop for easy access. And then, okay. So I just wanted to start there. So that's a really cool service that we offer you guys for being partners with us every month. You get a full folder of social media content. Does anyone have any questions so far? Let me know like what you want to know so I know like where to guide this conversation. I guess we're gonna get Michael.
So like, how would you go about starting?
Like beginning it? So that's a good question. Michael asked, how do you go about starting your Facebook page? So the first thing you kind of need to decide is if you want to have a business page. Not every realtor does want to have a business page. A lot of people like to just run their business from their personal page. There are 3 kind of positives to having a business Facebook. 1, you're able to schedule posts. Can't do that on a personal page. 2, you're able to run ads. If you get to the point where like maybe you have a house that is just not selling, or you want to throw a little last minute money into promoting an open house, ads are really becoming handy. And 3, you're able to collect reviews. So if you have a personal page, you can't ask your clients to leave you a review on your Facebook. The other part of this is if you want to do Instagram, they have to be the same. So you can't do a business Instagram and connect it to a personal Facebook. You have to have personal on both or business on both. And that's kind of the tricky key. Do you need to know how to like set it up from the start?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have a question?
Not in chat.
Okay. So with Instagram, in my social media life, I always post from Instagram to Facebook. So you're gonna wanna start with Instagram. Instagram's a phone app, so I can't really show it on here. So you would just go to your phone, download Instagram. Do you have a personal Instagram? So you would just create an Instagram account. So if you're in your phone,
Like another thing, so like your name, like, do you like have a word?
so I think most realtors brand themselves by just like, if your name is Michael Smith, it's like Michael Smith Realtor. And then in your about me, you would put your brokerage. So unfortunately, I can't show you how to set up the Instagram because it's only on your phone. But when you go to connect, when you're in Instagram, you have to like click connect to my Facebook, and then you'll click that, and then you'll put in your Facebook login to connect them. Need more?
No.
Okay. Cool. So I guess, do we have a chat?
Kelly, she said if you're an individual agent, there's an app called Plan with 2 N's,
Uh-huh.
and it can be a scheduler. So you don't necessarily need a business page. You can use that app to schedule out your thing. So if you're not using a business page, you're using your personal page.
Sure.
You can do that.
So a lot of people also use Canva. If you have a Canva account, you can schedule in there too. Now Canva is it's a graphic design software, but it's very simple. So like almost anyone can do it because they have a lot of templates for you. When we get into the analytics for Facebook, those sorts of programs do tend to be a problem because when you post something like straight from your phone, if you took a photo at lunch and you want to share this great restaurant you went to, and you post it right then and there, that is what's called an original post, original content. When you're using these third-party outlets to schedule your posting, it then becomes a shared post. So, and when you do a third-party post, it messes with your algorithm a little bit, and the algorithm is a very confusing world. I really don't even totally understand it. But when you post something generically or organically, only about 10% of your followers are going to see it. But when you add that third-party scheduler into it, it lessens that number even more. So you might find that, for instance, if you found a really great realtor article, real estate article, and you share it, you're getting a lot less people seeing that than if you were to post, a picture of your brother's birthday. And it's all just part of the crazy algorithm world on Facebook. So I really like to stress, posting in the moment as much as you can. The scheduling is a great tool when you're super busy and you don't have time to think about like the holidays and stuff like that. But I really, really advise people to post in the moment as well, just because, you've probably noticed that when you're in a photo, way more people see it, or, it's something that people actually want to see. As important as real estate is, and as much as we share about it and talk about it, that's all really important, making ourselves look well-rounded. But you will always find that, when you share something personal, or if you take a photo in front of the first house that you sell, like those are the things that your friends want to see because they like to see you succeeding and they like to see your face. I tell realtors with kids, who are comfortable sharing their children and their photos, like that's something that people are always going to want to see too, because that's like a look into your life, as opposed to a look into houses. If that makes sense. But yes, the third-party schedulers do really come in handy. All right.
I know Kelly had said in the chat, she said she uses, so the website is plan with 2 N's, planthat.com, and she says she uses it for planning purposes. So she says she uses it to store hashtags. It's a place where she herself gets like what she wants to put. And then Kelly, if you want to come up, you're welcome to do that too. But I was just so that you can kind of say how you do it. But it sounds like it's more for yourself. Is that right, Kelly?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's right. I use it mostly for, you can preset hashtags. So, you were talking about Testimonial Tuesday, things like that. I've, programmed a whole bunch of hashtags for certain days so that I know if I'm doing like a seller tip on a Wednesday or Thursday, I can pull those hashtags from that website. And then I do post directly on our business page in Facebook and in Instagram you're right, absolutely right in terms of algorithms. But as far as if you are an individual agent and you are looking to just get organized, I find that it's very useful for that purpose to kind of lay things out if you are not able to have a Facebook business page. So that was kind of my 2 cents on that, but it's more just for laying things out, branding purposes, scheduling.
100%. Question?
Yeah. Question. In terms of what, like, so you said that third parties like using Canva can mess with your algorithm and things like that. If you posted in Meta, like your Facebook, if you did have a business account, for example, and you're using Meta, do you know if that affects the algorithm at all, or is that okay because it's in the system?
So yeah, I've never had a problem. I'm going to show you guys how to schedule posts right on Facebook. I've never had a problem with those not reaching it. It's almost just it's involving that third party.
Okay.
And sharing content that is not yours. So like, I know within primary, a lot of the times, like, you know, we'll start a post at our division level, and then we'll ask all the other branches and, you know, loan officers to share it. And it's very interesting how like the original post will always blow it out of the water with how much like natural views that gets. And then you'll see like the more it kind of gets passed down the line, the less and less people are seeing it. But yes, I love that thought though, Kelly, because there are a lot of people who don't want to kind of do the business page side of things, which I totally understand because it's almost like having to run a second account, and it is. But there's also a lot of realtors who don't like to mix their personal life, and they kind of like to keep it separate. And then that way you also do seem like your own, you know, LLC, your own business. So I definitely find a lot of perks to it. And I think you'll find that, you know, the more successful you become, you are going to be very interested in throwing money into advertising on Facebook.
So it's like hashtags a big part, like
Yeah.
hashtags like
Yes.
supposed to be more like what we do.
Yes. So the power in hashtags, and you know, this is something that can take a lot, you know, of planning as well. Like Kelly said, you want to have your hashtags that you put on every post. So I know at primary we do why here am I, we put the fun and funding. You know, those are things that we keep on almost every post, just because it's almost like a catalog. So when you have, you know, what would you do? Like you would do like if you put Michael Smith Realtor, I'm not sure what your last name is, but if you did, you know, Michael Smith Realtor, whatever your famous hashtag is, if you put that on everything, you're able to just click it and see all the posts that you've ever made or all the posts that other people have tagged you in using that hashtag. So it's a nice catalog keeping it together. You know, if you have, let's say you have the St. Patrick's Day party every year and you keep the same hashtag at St. Patrick's Day every year, you'll be able to click it and go back and see the years past that you had this event. It's kind of a nice way. It's almost like your own little time hop, but it's also a way for someone who's like vetting a realtor, because I'm a millennial. I know when I buy something or think about using a service, the first place I go is online. So, you know, I might like go to their Facebook profile, and a lot of times I do click on their hashtag just to see what they're about. And, you know, the more I see that I relate to, or the more I see that I like, you know, the more likely you are to use that person. So that's kind of the whole point of social media, is to just make you look well-rounded and to kind of fill in that, you know, we see your business page, we see your Zillow page, like what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on in your life. Like, we like to see that part as well. We like to see what people say about you. And that's why like social media does get forgotten, but it is so important because, you know, it's who you are as a person versus who you are as a realtor. Makes sense. Any other questions? We're going to talk more about hashtags and how to pick them, but they are very important. Your questions, I just see like 6 in the chat, but I didn't know
it's
in the chat.
mostly me back and forth with Kelly.
Oh, okay. You're good. All right. Well, I guess right now we will go over into Facebook, and I will just show people how to schedule a post. Oh, what happened? I thought I logged in.
Yeah.
Do you have a page I can just use? Does that
which
work?
kind of page are you using?
Do you have like a just like, do you do legacy or anything?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
use the KW. Like,
I'm not gonna
public-
post, I'm just
yeah,
gonna
that's
show.
the public page, business page.
Awesome. So just to clear this up, when you're scheduling Facebook posts yourself, you have to do them on a business page. So when you get to your home page, on the left-hand side under the Meta Business Suite, you're going to see what's called Publishing Tools. You're going to go into it, and you're going to come up to the Scheduled option. And from here, you're going to click the little tab, that's the little button that says Create Post. And this is where you kind of customize what day you want to post it. You know, we'll say we're posting for St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. You pick what time you want to post. You know, and there are times that are better than others. So when you think about when you are scrolling your social media feed, I try not to be the person who's scrolling first thing in the morning, but a lot of people do when they're laying in bed, they scroll. Lunch hours, sometimes, you know, when a lot of people are taking a break from work and they're looking on their social media, but nighttime between 7 and 9 p.m. is probably the best social media coverage that you're going to get, because that's when people are home for the day. They're sitting down, you know, watching TV, going through their phones, looking before bed. If you're ever trying to get like the maximum amount of people to see your posts, that's probably your best time is Monday through Thursday between 7 and 9 p.m. And the weekend that I don't include, the reason I don't include the weekend is because, you know, people are busy on the weekends. I find, you know, I'm seeing my friends, seeing my family. I'm not scrolling social media as much on the weekend. But yes, the analytics will support that weekdays are the best for posting. But yes, so, and it'll tell you right here your optimal times, and they all say 7 p.m. So you would save it. Here's where you would type in your text. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And then you would add your media. Let me see if I can find the folder that we saved before. Probably didn't go to like the perfect place. If I can just search March. Striking out here.
Might have gone to the desktop.
Is it
Something
desktop?
I think was there.
Is there anything in pictures? This computer is blank.
Or documents.
Document. Downloads. All right, we're just gonna use the logo just in case. So this will like auto-populate it. And then we're gonna push the add button down here. And then you'll see your post is all ready to go. And you would just come down here and push schedule post, and then that would be all that you have to do. I'm not gonna do that because this has nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day, nor is this my page to post on. But it's that easy. My suggestion is, you know, while you're starting, sometimes posting a month ahead of time feels like a lot, but you know, try starting at the beginning of every week. Every Monday morning, sit down for 30 minutes, you know, pick 3 days that you're gonna post that week, include your hashtags, you know, kind of have fun with it, you know? Another cool thing that, you know, a lot of people don't realize is the more people you tag in a post, the more people that are gonna see it. So that's why I always tell people, you know, when you're trying a restaurant for the first time, or there's a restaurant that you love, there's so much value in posting, tagging the restaurant, you know, because at that point, you're grabbing that restaurant's followers as well. And this can work for anything, you know, a golf course that you love, you know, a vacation spot you love. I actually tell a lot of realtors to kind of go for the hashtag Friday favorites. And we have a lot of people in the industry that I see who, you know, go around Baltimore and like, you know, share a great drink that they love, or, you know, anything that you can do to put yourself out in the community. You know, if you're doing charitable work, tag the charity. Anything that you can think of to tag other organizations, it's just going to make more people see what you're posting about. So, you know, kind of the name of the game is, you know, being creative and seeing, you know, how can I get the most people viewing this post as possible. Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So when you said that the more people you tag, the more people see it, are you saying that if we tag a restaurant, for example,
Mhm.
all of the people that follow that restaurant are gonna
Mhm.
automatically see it just because you tagged them?
Yes,
Or
they
at
can.
least a
Yes.
majority of them or something like
Yeah,
that?
so when you tag a restaurant, especially if it's a photo, it kind of goes into their photo section because it's a tagged photo. And then anyone who were to go to the page would be able to click on the photo section and scroll through it. I can't promise that every time the restaurant's going to add it to their timeline because I mean, I know I always forget that portion of my Facebook too. But yes, it will go into their tagged photos unless they remove themselves, but they're not going to do that because it's free publicity for them. So yeah, I mean, it's a good way to put yourself out there. It's also a good way to build, you know, it might start on social media, but if you're constantly posting or tagging like the same restaurant multiple times in a year, you know, they might let you leave business cards on the counter or, you know, you never know what kind of relationship it's going to start.
I could also see them share, like if you tag them and say you had a great experience there,
Yeah.
they might reshare your post too.
Yeah.
And then does that more drive traffic to
Yes.
your original post?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you might make it into their testimonial Tuesday. So, you know, it's just thought. Like you have to put thought into what you're posting. You know, everyone's expecting you to post open houses and housing tips and decorating tips and all that stuff. But it's the stuff that you want to post that's going to shock people. And shock is a bad word, but like, you know, something that's going to make someone think like, oh, like I'm going out to dinner this weekend. Like maybe I should try this place. And naturally, just by tagging the restaurant, you're driving thought or driving traffic to them. So it's just a really good way to kind of build a relationship. And like I said, it starts on Facebook, which should just show you how like much power social media has, but it can turn into like a real life relationship. So, any other questions?
How do you start like building up?
Build up with followers?
Yeah, like when
Yeah.
you first made yours, like how did you, like,
Yeah. So most of the people that I work with always want to invite their personal friends. And I can actually show you how to do that. About the business. So when you are on your page, hello. Do all of your pages take you right to the business suite?
I don't know what
There we go. Okay. Yeah, you just wanted like the home view. All right. So when you go to your page, this is kind of like your home view, and you're gonna have this more section right here. And when yeah, that's not what I wanted to click. I can't see everything. You want to click these 3 dots right here. And when you do that, you have the option to click invite friends. And when that pops up, I will say there's a glitch in this sometimes. When you do invite all, it doesn't let you. So starting out, and I think that this is a really good opportunity to send a personalized message to your friends. I promise I won't send invite. When you click it, you have the opportunity right down here in the corner. It says also send an invite to Messenger. And when you click on that, you'll have the opportunity to type out a message to them. So sometimes it is a really good way to like take the one-on-one moment to, you know, send Aaron Bush the message that says, hi, like I'm a realtor, I just joined Keller Williams. This is also a really good time to not sound so salesy. You kind of want to say like, I love my new brokerage. We have a lot of client events every year, and I would love for you to be included in them. Feel free to like my page and let me know if I can do anything for you real estate wise or otherwise. You know, when you're starting, it's just, you want to make the most of every moment. And that's a perfect moment to like personalize it. The worst that's going to happen is they don't answer or they don't like your page. And it's like no harm, no foul. So my suggestion is every day go through a new letter of the alphabet. So the first day is the A's, the next day is the B's, and so on. You could do the mass invite.
Today
but-
Wednesday.
Yes, it's Wednesday. Take the minute to, make moments with people. So, sending a mass invite might feel a little robotic. If you have the time, if you have a half an hour, yeah, I would send messages to people.
Yeah, I know if you try to invite everyone all at once, that it won't even let you.
Yes.
I try to do that, and it's
Yes.
like, you've invited too many,
Yes.
we're not letting you do anymore for now, so.
Yep, that's what I said. So if the glitch does happen like that, I think 50 is almost the max that you can invite at one time. I feel like anytime I go over that is when I get the error. So like I said, start with the alphabet, keep it simple, take it day by day. You never know, like the people might start chatting with you and then you might get carried away in a conversation, which is a great thing. So definitely a good start. That is how you build your followers on Facebook. Now, Instagram is kind of another story, but it's kind of the same thing. So once you start your social media pages, the best thing that you can do is put the little icons in your email signature so that people can just click on them and you're finding every way possible to drive traffic to your pages. Good question. Anything else? Okay.
Sorry. I just came in.
Yes.
What's the website?
This is just Facebook.
Oh, it's just-
Yes. And I was showing everyone how to schedule a post. Oh, do you have a business
and
page?
Yes.
Yes. So just really quickly, when you're on your business page, on the left-hand side, you'll see this publishing tools option.
Okay.
And you just click that. And then you click scheduled. And then you click create post. And that gives you the opportunity to schedule something. I've never actually looked how far in advance you can, but I'm guessing you could do it for an entire year. So you just click here and you pick what date you want to post on. So like if you wanted to post about the 4th of July, oh, actually it only lets you go to May, so that answered my question. So it looks like you can schedule 2 months ahead of time. But yes, because we were talking about, what's your name by the way?
I'm sorry, I'm Dina.
Dina, nice to meet you, I'm Emily. So we were kind of talking about how like social media is important, but it's that thing that kind of gets put on the back burner because you get so busy with like, actually buying and selling real estate. So taking, a half an hour at the beginning of each week to kind of set your posts up for the week, just to make sure social media is going. And this is more advanced, but social media is also very important when it comes to like SEO and driving traffic to your web pages. So, if you're missing that social media piece, it can almost lower, how high you would show up in a Google search. And at least with that. Any other questions?
So I just do that and then.
Yep. So publishing
Post
tools, schedule a pre-post. And then, once you pick your
Is it
days.
cost?
No, so having a Facebook business page is free. The only way you're ever putting money into Facebook business is if you're running an ad.
Yeah.
So, or doing a boost or something like that. And it won't, you'll know if you're about to spend money because it'll give you a whole wizard. You'll know. But yes, this part of it is very much free. Any questions online? Okay. All right, I'm kind of at the end of my genericness. Do we have any other questions in the room?
Question.
Yeah.
How do you, did you have a question? No.
Oh, okay, I thought I heard you start to say something.
The question I was gonna say is, how do you instigate more interaction with your posts? So like, what, do you have strategies that tend to work well with getting people to actually like comment or like
Yes.
or whatever?
A lot of them. Kind of just being as simple as you can. People love free things. People love trivia. People love sharing their own stories. So I will share an example. One of my loan officers posted on National Popcorn Day, and it was simply like the National Popcorn Day graphic. And she just said, "What is your favorite movie?" And the amount of, I think she got like 200 comments of people just simply saying what their favorite movie is. And even though that has nothing to do with real estate, it's a great way to start conversation with people. So that's probably the best free way to do it. Kind of one of my other favorite things about that is if it's National Pizza Day, you're like, where's your favorite restaurant? And then they start tagging restaurants. That's even more powerful. However, if you're looking to put a little money into it, trying to think, I just had an agent who paired with one of our loan officers and they gave away a Valentine's Day dinner for 2. And it was just a simple contest. I think it was like a $200 gift card. You don't have to go that much. You can do like a $25 gift card to your favorite local restaurant. Great thing to do on Pizza Day, tag your favorite pizza restaurant below and the winner gets a gift card. Something like that. And you know, it's $25. It's not the end of the world. You can do it with a Visa, you can do it. You can almost tag, you can find a reason to celebrate any kind of day, like National Donut Day, Dunkin' Donuts. Like, you just kind of have to get creative. And that's where we hope the posts that we send you each month kind of help with that, because we're kind of just letting you know, like, hey, today's National Meatball Day. Like, do we care? No. But it's a good way for you to show some interaction. That what you were looking for?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and actually you mentioned you like one of the agents partnered with Primary Residential, and we're able to do that. How does that work with agents if they wanted to partner with you guys? What would that look
Yeah.
like?
So I'm guessing, you know, you all have your preferred lender that you work with, and as Anna's sitting right here. You would just simply go to them, say, hey, like, are you looking forward to, are you interested in doing a social media contest? You know, St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, you can do something for that. And it's just, you know, generally you want to give people like a week, because, you know, your things auto-populate for a couple days. So you want to give people enough time to enter. I know with the Valentine's Day one, we posted it on, I think, February 2nd, and drew a winner February 10th. And all they had to do was put a photo of them and their significant other. Like, it was very low effort when your friends and family's part. But yeah, all you would do is ask your favorite lender, they'd be interested. And then obviously, I'm a graphic designer, so I can make like a cute post, you know, with both your faces on it. Both of you would post it, the lender and the realtor, and you would just both make sure you're kind of keeping track of like who's entering. And at the end of the week or whatever, we would just do an automated name generator online, and a random person would win. It's a good time to just contact them or meet face to face with you and your realtor. You can drop it off to the client or your friend or family. And that's a good thing too, just like finding more time to get FaceTime.
I have a lot of questions. If anybody else has a question, just like
Yeah.
totally take it from me. But I'm trying to do stuff for our own social media,
Yeah.
so I'm like really excited
Sure.
to learn this. I have a question about stories versus reels, and if
Sure.
there's like certain content that you recommend for one over the other. So I know we have a lot of different things, and I know that like I think reels can be shorter or maybe
Yeah. Well, story is 10 seconds or under unless you do the video and it kind of just posts on itself. The story is something that is not permanent, whereas a reel is. A reel will live on your page.
That's on Instagram.
Yeah. And a lot, the reels basically started because of TikTok. So people who post on TikTok let it go into Facebook and let it go into Instagram. And that's where reels came from. Excuse me. So yeah, something that is going to go away. You want to post Happy Easter. That's a story. You know, you don't need that to hang around for days and days. You're doing a local restaurant review. That's a reel. You know, you're sitting there, you're taste testing like the 5 most popular items. That's a reel because you want that to live on your page. And that's kind of the difference for me is like a reel is something that's entertaining and something that is filled with good content that is going to be important today and next year. So that would be the difference for me.
And then I have a question in terms of like the content that people are putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend that it is more of a professional feel, or can it be more of a personal feel? Or
Yeah, so there's something called an 80-20 rule, and that is that 80% of what you're posting should be personal, community related, and 20% should be real estate related. So, you know, if you break the week down to 5 days, one day you should be posting an open house, you know, just listed, just sold, under contract. And then the other 4 days should be anything else. And the reason we say that is because, especially if all your personal friends are seeing it, I try not to do this in this industry so much, but like when I have friends who are sharing the same type of content all the time, and I promise I don't do that here because this is where I work, so obviously I want to see it. I'm trying to think of an example. If you have a friend who's like selling, like not Tupperware, I can't think of anything right now, but like Mary Kay, or they're constantly asking you to buy stuff. I just get so tired of seeing the same thing over and over. So that's why we suggest, limiting the real estate stuff. On your business page, it's a little bit different because it's your business page, people are expecting to see that. But if you're gonna run a lot of your posts on your personal page, you gotta keep a good mix. And that's why we say the 80-20 rule. And that doesn't have to be only personal. That can be, you volunteer at a charity, you went to a great restaurant for lunch, you had lunch with a lending partner. All of those things we would consider personal.
I think of like influencers that I follow on
Yeah.
Instagram, and some of them, like, their whole purpose is to like advertise clothes or something that they get paid to wear or whatever. And it really feels like that is a very small portion of what she's actually putting out there. Like, she's in the car on the way to this event, or she's, doing these other things. And so it seems, and she has, thousands of followers.
Yes.
So.
And I think a lot of that stems from like people just being nosy. Like, we're very invested in what other people are doing in their lives.
Yeah.
If there's someone that I like to follow, like I want to know what they're making for breakfast. I want to know where they're grocery shopping. Like, and I don't know why we want to know these things, but I think that's just human nature. Like, to want to know those personal details about people.
Yeah, and she'll post like videos of different rooms in her house, and I just love seeing what the inside of somebody else's house looks like. So.
Yeah. And you get a lot of your own design ideas when you do that. And that's why, I haven't seen too many realtors doing it, but I feel like it's a great kind of place to start content wise, is if you see cool things in a house that you're selling or a house that you're touring with a client, like, why not take a video of it? Like, wow, look at this backsplash. Or, I'm trying to think, like, pantries, like huge pantries are really in right now. So anytime if I were to see like a huge, beautiful, like dream pantry, I would highlight that. Like, it's just inspiration for other people. And I have seen realtors do that one that's like the weirdest thing I've seen at open houses. And like, those are great too, because, well, it's just funny. And that's kind of the point of social media too. You are there to entertain. And we don't want to ever forget that. You're there to inform, but you're also there to give something to someone that they want to watch. So.
Just like Kelly in the chat, she said categories that align with your brand for businesses. She said educate, motivate, build trust, kind of talk to the community, entertain, like you said, real estate, fun facts, local love, those types of things.
And that's a really cool thing too. I see a couple real estate groups down in Anne Arundel County. They do almost like trivia on their stories. You know how you can ask a question and there will be like 4 answers. That's a really good place to get people interacting as well. You could do a contest on your story. Like, I've seen a lot of people ask, like, what's your favorite room in the house? And just to kind of get people to answer, like, you're not starting a conversation, but, you're getting people, you're seeing who is watching your stuff. And that's important as well. Any other questions? Yeah, anything you have, I'm happy to answer.
Anybody like started using their social media at all for this kind of stuff? Like, does anybody have experiences that they have so far?
In the room. Sure. Well, I think talking about video is important because video is where the future, that's where we're going right now. I feel like just scrolling, I always catch myself, like if I have my volume on and I'm like scrolling my desk at work, it's just like, it plays at you and you don't even mean to, like you kind of just want to watch it on captions. I just feel like my whole feed is like 75% video at this point. And that's what people are watching. Like, that's why the reels are so big. That's why stories are so big. It's almost like less commitment than like reading something or something like that. So I think videos are huge. They don't have to be anything like crazy produced or anything like that. I see a lot of people just doing like an Instagram live check-in, like every other week, like the market update, like this is where we're at right now, just to get comfortable with like being on camera and doing the click on the go feeds. When you do live, it gives you the opportunity to save it as a reel or save it as a post on your page.
I have a little comment slash
Sure.
fun fact that I learned last week. I was in a different training and it had to do with TikTok. But, and not to go off the Facebook track, but TikTok has 120% organic reach versus Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn were all below a 10% organic reach. And they were saying in this class that Instagram is, for their reels, is trying to get that organic algorithm reach to where TikTok is. I don't know when that's going to come about, but it was just interesting. If you are looking to get into video and reels, it might be a good opportunity to start, because if they are changing their algorithms to get more spread, it could be very good for your business in all directions. And they were saying usually like the 7 to like 30-second videos are the main captures of the reach.
Right. Yes, you're 100% correct. A lot of people, you know, TikTok was kind of started like 2 years ago. I know it hit big in the beginning of the pandemic. And there was a lot of like, you know, these are for like the teens in the early 20s, but I have so quickly found that it's not that at all. That might have been how it started. But I do find a lot of people very intimidated by TikTok and how to do it. And that's why Instagram Reels are becoming, you know, what they are, because it's so much easier to just go to Instagram where the filter's right there. You throw a caption on your video and like, that's it. So like Kelly said, if the algorithm does, you know, become close to what TikTok's is, like, I think that will blow up. And Reels are definitely something to consider.
I know my cat has an Instagram page. And she only has 79 followers, which I think is a lot.
Yeah.
But anyway, I post reels and it'll get like 4,000 views.
Yes.
If you're using a good audio, like
Right.
where you save the audios from other people's viral videos and
Sure.
it's the same one, and if you get it early, you can get a lot of views that way. I have found.
And that is like kind of the power in those sorts of apps, TikTok, Instagram Reels, because, you know, trends are huge. Like, and that's almost how we should be running our Facebooks too, is by, you know, taking the time every week to ask what the trends are this week, whether it be like pop culture, whether it be a trending hashtag, you know, anything. It's important to almost play into that. Like, how can I join, you know, this social media community that's posting about this? Because when someone likes an audio and they find it funny, they click the audio and it shows them every other person who's posted using that same audio. And then you just go down a rabbit hole of just like watching. I'll do it for an hour before sleep sometimes, just like watching Costco finds, or, you know, I don't even know how it happens, but I love like the fridge restocking videos. Like, I just will watch them for hours. So you never know when, you know, you're going to capture that person who gets to your video. And that's why there's so much power in thinking the video route.
So you mentioned trends.
Yeah.
What about like hashtags? How do you pick which hashtags to use and things like that? Because I know, and also like how many should you use on a post?
Yes.
Because you could put like 50 hashtags, but I don't know that
Yes.
that's actually a good idea.
You don't think it's a good idea?
I said I don't know if it's a good
So
idea.
I am so personally turned off by people who do 100 hashtags in a post.
Yes, that's what I was asking.
So
Yeah.
when I post for like, you know, one of our loan officers or something, and they love the hashtags, I post that as a comment, all the hashtags, and not in the original post.
And that's still effective.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do find that I would say like don't go over 8 to 10 hashtags. Like I said, you want to kind of brand yourself. So pick a hashtag that's always on everything you post. So whether it includes your name, whether it includes like, you know, our division president is the Baltimore mortgage guy. So that's kind of like his hashtag, and it always is with him. So, you know, you might want to get a little creative. I know there's like hashtag generators online that can kind of help you out. But yes, at the beginning of every week, I will sometimes just Google like what's trending this week. And, the hashtags will come up very high up in the Google search. And, say it's just like, the Batman just came out. And if you want to find like huge Robert Pattinson fan. So if you want to find like a cool audio clip from the movie that people are talking about, or, I know like Step Brothers in The Office, like those are always trending. Trending hashtags also have a lot to do with the day of the week. So, Motivation Monday, Testimonial Tuesday, like Wine Wednesday, all of those things will always be trending as well. Throwback Thursday, Flashback Friday, those are always huge because it's a great way to highlight, why did I get into real estate, or, the first client I ever had. Like when you find yourself like not knowing what to post, the best thing that you can do is to look up this week's hashtags. And it'll kind of guide your mind.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
You're doing all of it.
Of course. And, as a little plug to PRMI, like we have 2 graphic designers. We're always happy to help you guys. If you need anything outside of what we send you every month. Any other questions? Any chats online?
Nope, it was just the last thing, Kelly talked about this category. Lauren said that she appreciated the thing you said about the 80-20 principle, that
Yeah.
that really is a good help
Sure.
for guide that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see any other questions or anything.
I think the last thing I said, because I know when I talked about the 80-20 rule, I mentioned 5 days a week. You do not have to post that much. There is such thing as posting too much. And kind of because, like I said earlier, when you post something, it's kind of living out there. And it takes like almost 2 days to get up to its like full potential of who it's going to reach. So when you post too close to that, they start to compete with one another. So you really never want your own posts competing. I understand if it's like something important, or, you have 2 kids, day apart with their birthdays, you have to share them both. But, my guide, especially starting out, is 3 times a week. Anything more than that, you're going to be competing with each other. As you get more comfortable with social media, you might find yourself posting different things on Instagram than you do on Facebook. A lot of times starting out, you're posting the same thing everywhere. But as you get more comfortable, you might want to run them separately. So just things to think about. But yes, there is such a thing as posting too much. So 3 times a week is great.
So, posting on your cell phone.
Yeah.
I don't see the.
You cannot schedule posts on your cell phone. That's
okay.
computer.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah.
You got to mention that, but I was actually going to put that line. If every week is like this week or, just
Yes.
schedule in advance.
Yes. So it's almost just not worth your money. We talked about this a little bit, just because when you post something, it's an organic post. But when you have a third party involved, they're a third party posting for you. And you can kind of see, I don't know if I'll be able. I need to get, let me see if this works on yours. So when you post something, I'm gonna go the back way real fast. When you post something on your page, it says who posted it underneath of it. And if it's a person that posted it, and this is only what the admin can see, like people looking at your page cannot see this. Let's see if yours. So like this one right here says published by Melissa. So you know that because it says that, if you're an admin, that's something that Melissa physically went in and did herself. If Hootsuite were to post that, it would say posted by Hootsuite. So that's the difference between a third-party post and an organic post that came from you. And when you schedule it, it's still an organic post. But like I said earlier, Hootsuite and third-party planners, they kind of lower your algorithm even more. So when you organically post something, about 10% of your audience will see it. And then when you add in that third party, I don't know what the percent is, but I feel like it goes down like dramatically, maybe to like 1% or something. So I know like when I first started doing like social media for different businesses, I would just like post an article about like house decorating and like nobody would see it. But then I would post like a picture of a catered lunch that we had and like everyone would see it. So it's kind of just, it has to almost come from you to get the full viewage. That's not a word, but there you go. But yes, thank you for asking that again. Any other questions? Yeah, so Dan's here. I know Hunter's here other days. Primary is always happy to help you guys, you know, as you're starting your career, or even if you have like, you know, more advanced questions as you're in, we're always happy to partner, do little contests together, trivia things. You can just let us know. Dan's your man. Here he is. All right, any other questions online? I know Melissa stepped out, but I'll check the chat. And Kelly, thank you for all your insight.
You're welcome. Thank you for teaching today.
Of course, of course. Any other questions, Melissa?
Looks like Sharon just says thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to help, guys. We're here if you need us.